Born from a dream in the foothills of North Carolina, North Wilkesboro Speedway became one of stock car racing's most iconic venues. Built in the late 1940s by Enoch Staley and his partners, limited funding created its legendary uphill backstretch and downhill front stretch, giving rise to one of NASCAR's most unique and challenging short tracks. For nearly 50 years, this 5/8 mile hosted the biggest names in racing, serving as a cornerstone of NASCAR's growth until Jeff Gordon won the track's final Cup Series race in 1996. Through the grandstands fell silent, the passion never faded. That passion fueled an incredible comeback. First revived through Iracing's digital restoration, North Wilkesboro's return became reality in 2023 when NASCAR brought the All-Star race back to this historic venue. With major renovations and a new era underway, one of racing's most beloved tracks is once again alive. Tonight, short track history continues at one of NASCAR's most legendary tracks. It's the Bingley's Auto Body 80 from North Wilkesboro Speedway, next on Track Limits Network. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway. Practice just about all set here. A couple of minutes to go. Again, it is the Bingley's Auto Body 80 here at North Wilkesboro Speedway, presented by FourWide Motorsports. Let's get into some race details for tonight. Heats, Consi, 80-lap feature, full fuel on board, one set of tires, no fast repairs, and one attempt at a green-white checkered in our feature event if necessary. Practice just about wrapped up here at the Speedway. Fast time is the 17 of Daniel Jones. Tristan Valdez second quick, then it's Scott Shive, Hunter Carlson, Colton Alderman. Upcoming schedule, of course, North Wilkesboro tonight. Then we go on to another legendary short track, Hickory Motor Speedway. Then the old IRP, Lucas Oil Raceway Park. Then on to Thompson, up to the northeast, then back down south to Martinsville. Then out west to Irwindale. Then we go to the beach. Florida for New Smyrna, Five Flags, then Nashville Fairgrounds to close out the season. About 30 seconds left in this practice session. We'll get right into the action here immediately thereafter. A little bit of cloud cover here tonight. Session went up 2 p.m. Eastern local time. So we do have a lot more cloud cover than the forecast had indicated. Should provide some extra grip, maybe a little bit quicker lap times as we get into qualifying here momentarily. There it is, black and red flags drop on the session, practice in the books. Jones wins the session, it's only bragging rights for the 17. So our 5-minute session for qualifying 2 laps, whatever comes first. We'll see who takes to the track first. Looks like it'll be Hunter Carlson. Or at least we think. Carlson's going to sit there at the end of pit lane. We'll see if he rolls out, and there he goes. 32 on the move. Doing the old Matt Hirschman out there, trying to get some heat in the tires. Bad strategy, really. Now he's up to speed here. Comes to start finish. Hunter Carlson on the clock. Hunter out there looks to be in a Grand Prix. Throwback body for the 32, crosses the line. First lap in the books, 18.784. Carlson off turn number 4, finishes up his qualifying attempt. Does he improve on lap 2? He does slightly by 1/1000th of a second. Landon Brown now in the 5. Brown in the Leadfoot TV Chevrolet. So Hunter Carlson, the time to beat right now. Tristan Valdez was awful close, missed it by a couple of thousandths. Daniel Jones wasn't much far off either. 6 thousandths the difference from first to third as Landon Brown will cross the stripe, lock in lap number 1, 6 quick, 18.94. Landon Brown, back to start finish, slips to 9th. Is he any faster? Barely, not enough to move positions. Steve Luttrell now. Luttrell using all the racetrack, just inches off that outside wall. You'll notice we're working on the 87 scan of North Wilkesboro Speedway, kind of digging that. Luttrell goes 14th, 18.980. Now to Hayden Bloomer. The Hunt Brothers number 10, big checkup there. Second lap, slower, 12th quick for Bloomer. I think that's going to wrap it up for everybody. Austin Pack ended up knocking Carlson off the top step with an 18.753, a lightning quick lap for Carlson. Remember, Pack led all but the last maybe 100 yards of last week's race before getting tangled with a lap car that had a moment. The dominant performance went away for Austin Pack last week.
Where virtual racing meets real-world style. Gear up with 213 Simware's sim racing apparel, perfect for representing your favorite league, team, or driver. Contact them at 213simware@gmail.com for inquiries. 213 Simware is the official apparel company for the FourWide Motorsports League. Angry Chef Designs is a premier iRacing paint shop owned and operated by Hunter Carlson, specializing in high-quality custom racing liveries. As the proud sponsor of the FourWide Motorsports Racing League, Angry Chef Designs brings creativity, precision, and passion to every design. From bold, aggressive styles to clean, professional schemes, each paint is crafted to help drivers stand out on track. With a commitment to detail and customer satisfaction, Angry Chef Designs delivers top-tier visuals that match the competitive spirit of sim racing.
About 15 seconds remain officially in the session, but it doesn't much matter. That's just the stopwatch at this point. Every driver of this 24-car field has taken a time to set themselves up for a starting position here to get this race underway. I believe we're still going to jump into some heat races here, so let's stay tuned for that. That's it. Race heat number 1 will be a 12-car field. Let's take a look at it. Starting first, to number 81, a lightning quick lap in qualifying, 18.753 seconds. It's the 81 of Austin Pack. Outside front row, missed it by 31 thousandths. The number 96 of Tristan Valdez. Starting in row 2, it'll be Dan Jones and Austin Cansdale. Row 3, it's Gavin Grubbs and Thomas Hall. Row 4 will be Hayden Bloomer and Drew King. Row 5, Wes Wiegand and Colton Briner. And the last row, row 6, Ty Sykes and Mike Wild will round out the field in this first heat. Field rolling away. Ten laps to settle this one. Probably a couple of heats tonight. Field going to make one more lap here. 2 laps on the short tracks behind the pace car. Make sure everybody's where they need to be. The next time by here, this 5/8 mile oval in the 1987 scan of North Wilkesboro Speedway, we will be green with 10 laps to run. Sun trying to peek out a little bit. We'll see if that slicks up the racetrack with the increased temperatures. Our first taste of door-to-door action here at North Wilkesboro as the pace car heads to pit lane. Green flag in the air. Pack and Valdez are off and running. Side by side to the 96 of Valdez goes around. Pack gets turned as well. Wes Wiegand comes in, takes a big chunk out of that as well, and we're under caution in just a half a lap. Oh, and Wiegand turns Pack again. And Wiegand's up on the door. Can he get it righted? There he goes. Really not sure what Wes Wiegand was thinking there. I know we want to try and get away from the scene and get back lined up, but that was just something else. Bad luck for Austin Pack, continuing after the end of last week's race. We'll take another look at it here. Looks like Valdez maybe a little loose on exit and then a little tight on exit for Pack. They come together in the exit at 2. They almost have it saved. They bang doors there down midway down the backstretch. Wes Wiegand plows into it. Now we'll watch Austin Pack here drive away from the scene with Wes Wiegand to the top side of the track. He's got to see him at this point. Now, in all fairness, Wiegand may have some damage on that left front. It maybe would not have turned up the racetrack. That could be what happened there, but nevertheless, Austin Pack, the short straw on that one. Those hockey fans out there, Montreal Buffalo now 2-0 with 4.5 left in the first. Montreal leads. If you hear my remote slam into my television, that's why. So it looks like Pack's going to get the wave around here. We're on the one to go. He should be able to get caught up here before we go back green. And I wouldn't be shocked to see Austin Pack drive through this field and still salvage a top 3 out of the heat. He's got a very fast race car. Obviously quick when you're out in front. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge to cut his way through this field. Albeit there's only 12 cars to work with.
Green flag.
Dan Jones gets away. Battle for second. Kevin Grubbs, Austin Cansdale. Coming to 4 to go. Oh, and one goes around the 14 of Colton Briner. Caution's out again. Wes Wiegand caught out in this also for a second time. I don't know what's going on with Wes Wiegand. He seems to want to drive into everybody after the yellow is out. That is 2 in a row. That's not coincidence anymore. And that added some additional damage to Colton Briner. That car is tore up. Let's take a look at it. They were battling hard. Back it up a little bit further here. Try to get a better angle on it. Here, watch this here. Again, Wiegand does have some damage, but he bounces off to 14 off the exit of 4. Crosses up Briner. And then Briner just goes around here, start finish. Hard impact for the 14. And Wiegand's still driving through him here. Yeah, Briner was at a complete stop when Wiegand finally hit him, so I don't know what that was all about. Well, we'll try it again here. Should get the 1 to go signal as the field will cross start finish. And they're still wrecking in the back of the pack. Wiegand and Briner. Briner will go to pit lane. I don't know what that was all about. Briner will end up getting sent right to the pits here. Wiegand honestly should join him. Now, Briner turned him this time. Obviously not happy about the way that last wreck ensued. Race officials are going to have fun with that one. So we are on the 1 to go now. Try this again. And you'd think we're at Bowman Gray. Race car heads to pit lane. Barney waves the green. Dan Jones hard on the throttle. Hammers down. Off turn number 4 for Dan Jones. White flag, final lap. Oh, real loose on the exit of 2. Same for Cansdale. Jones has got to keep it together here for a couple more corners. Off turn 4, does he straighten it out? Yes, he does. Across the start-finish line. And we got trouble across the start-finish line. That's 10 of Hayden Bloomer spun around backwards, but crosses the line in 7th. Dan Jones, your winner at heat number 1, led 12 laps of the 10. You read that right. They don't count caution laps in the heats. So now we're set for heat number 2. Maybe this one will end up a little bit cleaner. We'll take a look at the starting grid. It'll be Hunter Carlson in the number 32 with Scott Shive to the outside. Only 0.03 of a second difference between those two in qualifying. Row 2, it's Robert Aversole, Steve Luttrell. Row 3, Colton Alderman and Landon Brown. Row number 4, the 08 Flex Motorsports entry of Dan Worthington with Elijah Grant to his outside. Row 5, it's Chris Bingley, David Wormuth. The final row, row 6, Charles Oberg and Yogi Schlier. So heat number 2 about to get set underway. We'll get the 1 to go signal across start finish. It'll be a 10-lap segment.
flag.
Green in the air. Shive and Carlson fire off. Carlson, the control car, and Shive will beat him back to the stripe. I don't think that's going to be a penalty, but it could be. Side by side, off turn number 2. Shive with the run down the backstretch. Could get clear. Carlson here into turn 3. How deep does he take it in there? Carlson doesn't drive it too terribly deep. Check up there in the middle of 3 and 4. And Shive goes to the race lead. 9 laps to go. Steve Luttrell, Colton Alderman side by side for the 4th position. Alderman in the 4. Actually, the number 9, my bad. Landon Brown trying to take advantage. He jumps to the inside of Luttrell. Out front, it's still Scott Shive running away with it. 4/10 of a second, the advantage back to Hunter Carlson. Alderman makes the move to the inside on Eversole. This for the 3rd spot. Eversole way up the racetrack. Eversole has the run off. Still not quite clear of the 9, and he forces his way down in the middle of 3 and 4. Oh, a little loose and in the grass. Alderman tries to hang on to it, and he does. Giving everything he had to get around the 1 machine, but can't do it. Now he's got to worry about Landon Brown breathing down his neck. 4 laps to go from Wilkesboro. Battle for the race lead starting to heat up here as Carlson is run down Shive. He's cut about a tenth and a half into that race lead, but now he's got company. Robert Eversole on the back bumper for 2nd.
Caution.
And Corey Bigley is turned around here. Caution on the speedway late. Chris Bingley, our neighbor to the north, trying to get the car righted here. Let's see what happened here to Bingley just a moment ago. Working inside the 35 of Elijah Grant. Oh, Grant just turns down. Make relatively minor contact, but it's enough to send the 84 to the infield and backwards. So this may set us up for a very short stint to the finish. Probably a green-white checker, or maybe even a green and white then checker. One more time around, we should get the 1 to go. Front row will be Shive and Carlson, but now Shive will have the advantage on the inside. He fired off perfectly on the initial start. He did indeed beat Carlson to the start-finish line on that initial start. No penalty was provided, so might have done it just perfect. Chris Bingley will rejoin the field at the back of the pack.
Green flag.
Shive gets away from Carlson. Battle is on for third. Colton Alderman to the outside of Eversole. These guys have been battling all heat long, and some contact. Eversole tries to straighten it out into turn 3. He does. Not going to take too kindly to it, though, but they're coming back around to the white flag as the 35 goes around. Big time trouble here at the start-finish. Multiple cars involved. I don't know if they got the yellow or not. It doesn't look like it. Final lap. Carlson takes a look. Shive slams the door, back around, off turn number 4, coming to the stripe. Shive will win it. Scott Shive also leading more than the scheduled distance with that caution, a couple of cautions. He'll park it there.
Eastern Technical Design, Inc. provides design and drafting services for commercial, industrial, and residential construction. Services include architectural renderings, preliminary plan design, as well as final construction drawings. Construction drawings include all necessary structural, building, plumbing, mechanical, and electrical plans as required to produce a finished building and/or structure. This company is owned by Tracy Brown, the producer of our FWM network. If you're in the eastern region of North Carolina, look ETD up for any of your drafting needs.
Now for our starting grid for our Consi, a 15-lap race. Same size field. It'll be Ty Sykes and Dan Worthington on the front row. Row number 2, Hayden Bloomer and Chris Bingley. Row 3, Tristan Valdez and Charles Oberg. Wes Wiegand and Yogi Schlier will start in the 4th row. 5th row, Mike Wild and David Warmuth. Row number 6 and final row, it's Colton Briner and Elijah Grant. Field around the front stretch yet again here. One more lap to green. Ty Sykes, Dan Worthington will lead them to the start. The 78 of Ty Sykes will be the control car on the start. On the start, the 10 gets run over. Hayden Bloomer. The 96 of Valdez got to the back bumper, now up the racetrack. Elijah Grant hard into the wall, but straightens it back out. We stay green, and Dan Worthington now takes over the race lead. Worthington with a healthy advantage back to the field. Ty Sykes in second. Big battle behind them. Contact with a handful of drivers, and around goes the 84 and the 77.
Bud Bunch, give me status on your car there.
Quickly under caution here in our consolation race. This was headed down into turn number 1. Oberg just gets into the back of the 84. Chris Bingley gets him crossed up. He bounces off the 10 and the 96. And Yogi Schlier gets in and finishes the job. Elijah Grant getting woed up just in the nick of time. Grant caught it early, just in time, getting woed up. So another opportunity here for Ty Sykes, this time with Dan Worthington as the control car. So there we are. Pace car lights are out, so that will indicate 1 to go.
Green flag.
And there we go. Green back in the air. Worthington fires off. Sykes late on the jump. To the inside. Valdez takes over to 78. Crosses over. Gets underneath the 10. A bloomer. This for the second spot into turn number 3. Big time move out of the 96. Unable to clear the 10. Hayden Bloomer, they're still side by side, 8 laps to go. Worthington checking out, and they keep exchanging this second position, a nose at a time. Valdez clear off of 4. Les Wiegand up 2 spots into P5. Running in the tire tracks of Ty Sykes, who's just continued to free fall here. He's lost 3 spots since the drop of the green flag. We now have 6, well, 5.5, not even laps to go. Might have a battle for the lead here. There's time for Valdez to take it away. Jumps to the inside, down the backstretch, takes a peek into turn 3, and the yellow comes out and maybe just saved Dan Worthington. Colton Briner around, and that may do it for the 14. Briner was there. He had a nose along the driver's door, the 00 of Mike Wild. Briner able to avoid contact with the wall, but I guess he's just going to call it a day. Briner did just kiss the inside grass there. Didn't really shoot him up the track all that much, though. I think the 00 may have come down just a touch. It's a camouflage scheme, though. Sometimes they're hard to see. So working our second caution in our consolation race. We're almost to the end of regulation. Caution laps do not count in the heats. And while we have a moment, Stream Chat is awfully quiet tonight, folks. I know you got dual streaming here. We're over at FourWide Motorsports as well, but pop on over here, say hello, check in, tell us who you're rooting for. Stay for a while if you'd like. about set for the restart here in our consolation race. 80-lap feature to follow immediately after, so don't go anywhere. If you're looking to get something to snack on, do it quick.
Green flag.
Green-white checkered attempt. Worthington and Valdez, the top two, with Hayden Bloomer in the third spot. Off turn 2, down the backstretch. Can Worthington hold off Valdez? Coming to the white flag. Bloomer putting pressure on Valdez. Valdez not even looking at the rearview mirror. Big block from Worthington out of turn number 2. Is there time still? Valdez to the inside, doesn't get it alongside, but back on the power, gets into the door. Worthington roots him up the racetrack, and Valdez will cross the start-finish line first and win the consolation race. Says started 5th, but doesn't even show any laps led, but he led the final one and the only one.
Golden Chef Speed Shop is your go-to iRacing setup shop for fast, affordable performance. Owned and operated by Chris Golden and Hunter Carlson, we're focused on giving every driver a competitive edge without breaking the bank. For just $5 per setup, we deliver reliable, race-ready setups built for consistency, speed, and confidence on track. Whether you're racing for fun or chasing wins, Golden Chef Speed Shop provides quality tuning at the lowest price around. Fast, affordable, competitive. Golden Chef Speed Shop, performance you can trust.
Now for our starting grid of our feature race. The Bingley's Auto Body 80 on the front row. It's Daniel Jones and Scott Shive, the 87, bound to be a favorite here tonight. Row 2, it's Austin Cansdale and Hunter Carlson. Row 3, Gavin Grubbs and Robert Eversole. Row 4, it's Thomas Hall and Colton Alderman. Row number 5, Drew King and Landon Brown. Starting in the 11th spot will be the 81 of Austin Pack. Had a terrible heat race. Hopefully he can recover from that here tonight. He'll have Steve Luttrell to his right elbow in 12th. 13th starter, it's the 96 and Tristan Valdez. Don't sleep on the 96 tonight. Dan Worthington will start 14th. 15th starter, it's Hayden Bloomer. Wes Wiegand will roll off from the 16th starting position. Starting 17th, it'll be Ty Sykes. 18th, David Warmoth. 19th goes to Charles Oberg. And 20th will be the 35 of Elijah Grant. Last on the starting grid, but anything can happen in 80 laps here at North Wilkesboro. Green flag about to get us underway here. Still working the backstretch into turn number 3 for our first of 2 pace laps. Race details again tonight. Heats are done. Consi's done. 80-lap feature next. Full fuel on board. They've got 1 set of tires over the wall. I don't anticipate everybody using them tonight. There's no faster pairs, and there is 1 attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Overcast skies, 67 degrees, 66% humidity, barely any breeze. And the important one there in the bottom middle, 73-degree track temperature. That's going to help these guys keep these cars gripped up here tonight. Green flag is in the air. Shive, a real wide arc into turns 1 and 2. Cansdale to the inside. Shive will get clear. Single file would have moved to the inside by Gavin Grubbs for the 2nd spot. And trouble behind the pack. Off turn 3.
That's real quick and then tell me what you got.
Looks like Charles Oberg and Ty Sykes involved in this one. Both drivers will drive away from the field here. Looks like the 78, though, showing some right front damage. And we are quickly under the caution flag here in our feature event. 78 hit the curb there. Middle of 3 and 4, bounces off of Worthington. Bloomer goes around, and in the checkup from Oberg, he gets run over by the 8 of David Warmoth. Field cross start finish as the pace car lights extinguish. We're going to go back green the next time by. So Shive and Cansdale.
Green.
Green is in the air. Shive fires off Cansdale. Good reaction. Little bit of contact off turn number 2. Austin Pack working his way through. He's up 3 spots already. Only 7 laps in here at North Wilkesboro. 3 wide into turn 1. Eversole on the bottom. Pack in the middle. The 34 of Drew King up top. Still 3 wide out of turn 2. Down the backstretch. Pack takes the spot and then some. Now focuses on Hunter Carlson. Austin Pack on a tear here at North Wilkesboro. Big wiggle for Scott Shive. Or no, it was Gavin Grubbs. And we've got trouble. Colton Alderman is around. I thought Hayden Bloomer might have got a piece of that also. Charles Oberg, I think, had his own incident. I don't know if they were related to this or not. Let's take a look. Oh, Pack got half-turned. Eversole as well. Those guys straighten it out, but it caused a bit of a chain reaction there in the back. The 9 goes around. Didn't see what happened to Oberg, though. Let's see. Maybe he was just deep in the field. I don't know what happened there. Or was this it? This is on the restart. Oh, there it is, the 78. Lifts the back tires off the ground. Ty Sykes fired a little bit before the 77 of Oberg. Pace car lights still on here at North Wilkesboro Speedway, expecting them to go out this time across start finish. We'll get things back underway. Front row now will be Scott Shive, Gavin Grubbs.
Green flag.
His car is in. Shive fires off in a hurry. Thomas Hall now taking full advantage of Grubbs into turns 1 and 2. The number 93 takes the spot, now sets his sights on the 87. A little bit of wall contact, and there's one going around. I think it's Steve Luttrell.
Tell us what you got when you get a chance.
And just like that, back under yellow here at North Wilkesboro. Off the nose of Bloomer. Hard to tell if Luttrell got the fence and then came down or if the 10 came up. Kind of looks like a racing deal to me. We'll go a little bit even slower this time. Now, the 10 does come up a little bit, but I think he was expecting Steve to go up a little higher on the racetrack than he did. Got a little loose on exit, did the 36, but he didn't have a whole lot of room to go any further without really scraping the right side off that race car. I'll tell you somebody who does not want to see all these yellow flags. It's the driver of that number 81 machine, Austin Pack. He needs some green flag to get him towards the front and out of this traffic. He's already up 5 positions. He started 11th here tonight. Fastest in the qualifying session. What a disastrous heat race. Involved in a crash on lap 1. Let's try it again. Let's get some heat in these tires, boys. Let's get going. Pace car about to head to pit road. There's the left turn.
Green flag,
and green is in the air. Grubbs with a run down into turn 1, but Shive will likely power out around off of turn number 2. Has the run. Side-by-side battle down into turn 3. 2 V-Speed cars side-by-side all the way around from the restart. Back to start finish. Shive will have the run off. He'll lead the lap. Austin Pack in a gaggle here behind the 33 of Austin Cansdale. Meanwhile, Shive has gotten clear of Gavin Grubbs. Hunter Carlson and Thomas Hall side by side. Now the 33's in the fence. 20 laps in here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Carlson running in the 3rd spot. Real loose on exit. Thomas Hall gathers it back up. Keeps the hammer down, though. Oh, and round goes Cansdale. Austin Pack will get in this. The 34. Valdez in it. We've got a lot of guys all tied up in this one. The bad luck continues for the 81 of Austin Pack as he now finds himself about in the 17th position. So Pack just gets into the left rear of Cansdale on exit, slows down enough, but then gets run over by Landon Brown. So the 81 goes around, Brown up the track, into the 96. Tristan Valdez. Parking lot here on the backstretch at North Wilkesboro. Landon Brown taking a pretty big shot there. Looks like Pack actually wrecked twice in this incident. Let's go back and watch this from the get-go. Running into the back by the 5, straightens it back out, tries to sneak through, and then Elijah Grant still running at full throttle through this mess. Just turns down into Pack. Well, we're back on the one to go here for our 4th caution of the night here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. 24 laps in. We'll get the restart at lap 25.
Green flag.
This time, Shive gets away very cleanly from Gavin Grubbs. The battle is on with Hunter Carlson and Thomas Hall for 3rd. Austin Pack now back to the 15th position. Picked up a couple after the restart already. A little bit of right front damage on the 81. Top 3 single file. Now Dan Worthington making a charge on the outside of Hunter Carlson. Carlson, the number 32, Worthington, that purple 08 machine. Back to start finish. Eversole into the 08, and around he goes, straightens it out. Now Eversole's around, and we got a mess again.
Caution.
Austin Pack gets in this also, and we've still got a big
Talk me
mess.
through what's going on again.
Pack drives down into the 88. Eversole trying to get going out. He backs up into Valdez. What a mess we've got here in the middle of turn 2. Looks like this may have started here with that contact to the 08. This is already very late into it. We didn't get a yellow until it got real bad. Let's back it up a little further. We can watch this unfold. Eversole drives it in deep, about a half lane up where you'd expect him to be. And Grant, just again, never lifts, drives right into these guys. They all straighten it back out, but then the mess happens behind them. Austin Pack saw it starting. Valdez did not. Runs into the back of the 81. And I don't know if these guys are just frustrated at this point, but Austin Pack's got to be having a bad day. We've got 2 cars now a lap down or more, Wes Wiegand and Robert Eversole. I don't think Eversole is on the track anymore. May have parked it for the night. Wes Wiegand had some damage to get repaired. He made a trip to pit lane. Let's try it again.
Green flag.
Shive maintains the top spot, but the battle's on behind him. Grubbs there inline single file, but a 2x2.5 battle behind him. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Worthington in the P6 position. 7th now. Oh, and the 93 trying to save it. He gets into Hunter Carlson. Thomas Hall in trouble and clips the 9 in hard impact, and we've got a big wreck in turn 1.
Save us some fuel whenever you can, but doing a really good job. Tell me about your race car when you can.
Another multi-car incident here at North Wilkesboro Speedway puts us under caution for the 6th time tonight. We're averaging about 5 laps of green before we have a major problem out on the speedway, and it is major for the 93. Smoke pouring out of that machine with no fast repair. This could be night over for Thomas Hall. Thomas Hall will bring it to the pits and likely to the garage. So let's take a look at this one just a moment ago. We'll go real time again. Watch the 93. Just got loose by himself on exit. He spends the whole straightaway trying to save it. Unfortunately, gets clipped by the 32. Now he can't steer it. He gets down into the 9. Then Carlson hits him again. And then it's a checkup disaster behind him also is Bloomer in the 10. May have been run over in the back. Let's see what happened if we can with him. Now just checking up too hard, hit the brakes. Stood on that brake pedal. It doesn't hit anything, just a slow little looper for the Bloomer. That's caution number 6. Scott Shive's been the dominant car this evening, albeit we really haven't had a ton of green flag racing this evening. It's going to be interesting to see if we do have a long stretch of green flag here, if the 87 is just as strong at the end of it. I think it could go back to Gavin Grubbs at this point, but it remains to be seen. We haven't had that opportunity just yet. Fingers crossed, as we're not quite halfway. We're just about there as we cross start-finish line.
Green flag.
There it is, green back in the air. We've gone single file restart. Let's see if this helps. Shive in charge, battle for second. Gavin Grubbs, Landon Brown side by side. Brown in the black, red, and blue number 5. Grubbs in the number 26, the white and red machine. Oberg a little loose off turn number 2, straightens it back out for turn 3. And Landon Brown will take over second. Starts to set his sights on Scott Shive. Shive will have his hands full here in a minute. Colton Alderman real loose off turn number 2. He continues it down the road. Oh, the 78 way up the racetrack. Ty Sykes gets away with it. Now working to the outside of Steve Luttrell. And trouble. Elijah Grant goes around.
What you doing there, bud?
Bloomer slides to a stop. I don't think he hit the 35 at all there, but caution for the 7th time. Back it up a little bit here. Watch the 9 and the 35. So Grant just got a little over-rotated on corner exit. And watch Bloomer come in just barely. Pit road open. Got a few takers, probably for damage here at this point. Hunter Carlson, Wes Wiegand, David Wormuth, Elijah Grant, all on pit road. Thomas Hall still sitting there. Smoke still pouring out of that machine, but he's not giving up, hoping and praying that he can get that thing back out there, at least to run the rest of this out. With the attrition here tonight, he may be able to pick up some spots. We're going to stay with single file restarts here as we wrap up caution number 7. We are past halfway. We lap 49 of 80 when we take the green flag. We do need to step aside for a side-by-side break. So as soon as we get a lap in here under green, we will take a break. Got to get those obligations out of the way, but we will be back, and you won't miss a minute of the visual action.
Green flag.
Shive, Brown, and Grubbs, the top 3 off turn number 2. Worthington runs 4th. Dan Jones in 5th. And back across the line. We're going to step aside, get a quick break out of the way. We'll be back after this.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens, UMP Modified and Silver Crown driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Back in North Wilkesboro Speedway, and the caution has just come out. 77 Charles Oberg has gone around again. And for the 8th time, the yellow flag flies over North Wilkesboro Speedway. Here's what happened. Working inside Dan Jones in the 17. Car's already starting to step out. He's just kind of driving it right now, and it's going to get to the point of no return in a hurry. Steve Luttrell narrowly missing contact. Just a lazy spin there for Oberg. But the field was bearing back down as he goes back up onto the racetrack, brings out the yellow. So Landon Brown's going to have another crack here at the 87 to Scott Shive. See what he can do with him. Shive has been dominant here tonight. 60 laps led. He's led them all. A couple times it was close. But he still got back to the stripe first. Shaping up very similarly to last week. Austin Pack leading all but the last 100 yards or so. That was a tough pill to swallow for the 81. His car heads to pit road.
Green flag.
Shive taking the wide entry, closes the door on Brown. Brown sticks with him there off turn number 2. Brown making a move, looking for the race lead. He's got a nose in. Shive keeps it up the racetrack here. He'll have another big run off the corner. Brown is right there. Landon Brown, the closest he's been all night long, really trying to get after it here. Stays to the inside. Scott Shive maintains the race lead. Brown hits the flat of the racetrack, shoots him up just a bit. He'll have to lift and settle back in behind the 87. Shive still on the chip. on corner entry. $15 to go. Man, Landon Brown is just peaking. Was a tick faster than Shive that last lap. 14 to go. Smoke from Thomas Hall starting to roll across the front stretch. Hall officially out. Eversole officially out. 18 cars still on the lead lap here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Wes Wiegand, the last car on the lead lap back at 18th. We'll watch this battle for the top spot and potentially the win, but the caution is out again. Hayden Bloomer. Elijah Grant backing it into traffic in front of Wes Wiegand. You got to watch that relative. Well, let's take a look. Hunter Carlson to the back bumper of Grant. Grant just loses it on his own. Big checkup for Carlson. Bloomer runs him over. Oberg gets around. Landon Brown way down on the racetrack there. Might be trying to get some temperature out of those tires. Which, honestly, I don't know how much of an advantage it's going to be. We really haven't run hard enough for long enough to build up excessive heat. So we're within 10 laps to go here as we start lap 72. We'll get the restart at lap 73. It'll give us 8 laps to go.
Green flag.
Landon Brown all over the back bumper of Shive, pushing him down straightaway, makes a move to the outside. Now swaps over to the bottom. Side by side off turn number 2. Shive with some real pressure now from Landon Brown. And there's trouble behind.
Caution, caution. Do you need anything to drink or anything like that?
And for the 10th time tonight, caution on the speedway. Ty Sykes just not having a good night. I think Dan Jones got the most sour end of that deal. That car just won't turn. Left front not turning at all, and he'll tow it to pit lane. Looks like this started ahead of these guys. So it looks like the 34 and the 78 come together. And that just stacks up these guys in behind. The 8 runs over Ty Sykes. That's David Wormuth. Comes down the track, kind of touches there with Oberg, but Hunter Carlson gets a big chunk. Dan Jones tries to get clear on the outside to no avail. Elijah Grant coming in hot to the back bumper of the 10. And Wes Wiegand the same. Might as well crumple up all 4 corners on the 78. Job security for the Fab Shop. Landon Brown trying to get in the head of Scott Shive there, already pushing him down the straightaway. Green flag back in the air. 2 laps to go. Colton Alderman, Gavin Grubb side by side, but we'll stay on the lead battle here as they run side by side down the backstretch. Landon Brown looking for a way around into 3 and 4, looking for the white flag. Scott Shive trying to close it out. Final lap from Wilkesboro. Brown to the inside, last lap into turns 1 and 2. Drag race down the back straightaway, little bit of contact. Brown settles in behind. This might be it for Shive. Shive off turn number 4 for the final time. Checkered flag waves and he wins it over Landon Brown. Colton Alderman will come home with P3. Must have been a lap somewhere that Shive didn't lead, but 79 of 80, the unofficial laps led for Scott Shive en route to a dominant victory here tonight. First dent on that race car all night long, and it's during the celebratory Donuts. And that'll do it from North Wilkesboro. We're going to step aside, get our last break out of the way. We'll be hopefully back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay with us.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified in Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Back in North Wilkesboro Speedway. Bingley's Auto Body 80 at North Wilkesboro, presented by FourWide Motorsports. It's in the books, and Scott Shive takes it to victory lane. Let's see if we can get a word with the driver of the number 87, Scott Shive. Scott, it's Steve in the Track Limits Network broadcast booth. You got a copy? Scott, it's Steve with the Track Limits booth. You got us? And looks like Scott's gone. We'll try this one more time. Scott Shive, it's Steve with Track Limits. You got a copy?
What's up, Steve? I got a copy.
There we go. Scott, congratulations, man. Officially, it shows 79 of 80 laps led. I don't know where you lost one there, but either way, a dominant victory here tonight. It wasn't an easy one by any stretch. Landon Brown really gave you a run for your money there at the end of this thing. Walk us through, well, many restarts, but more importantly, that final restart. Ultimately, a green-white checkered finish to close this out tonight.
Yeah, Landon and I were just chatting about it, and he definitely, the restart prior, the second to last restart, he definitely got a great one on me and was able to pull that crossover. Anytime he got to my inside, I was definitely confident you could really roll the top here. I mean, that's how I got the lead in the heat race and the lead overall at the start of the race, which I knew I needed to do. I wanted to control all the restarts, and you know, we're starting on green, so I'm like, I can start exactly when the leader starts, but after that, it's start on leader. So when you're on the outside, you're just at a disadvantage, and it's not always easy to get that start. So once we switched to single file, I knew he was going to get good restarts. So about 3 restarts before I started switching it up, I'd go later in the box, sometimes early in the box, just so he'd kind of have to guess. And it played out perfectly on that last restart where he had to guess, and I went early, and it worked out. I still let him. He dove in hard on that last lap, and I was like, that's fine. I'll roll off the top, and I did. And it was all good. But Landon was pressuring me good. It was definitely a throwback to Lanier. And him and I talked after Lanier, and we were both upset. And I think it was more of a racing deal. One of us was coming up, one of us was coming down, trying to go out to the wall, all that. But I said, next time we're 1-2, we got to make sure we finish that way. And we did.
There you go. Always good to make it a good show at the end, and both cars make it back to the truck without too much body work to be fixed. Looking forward now. In fact, we'll step aside a little bit. Wanted to ask about your long-run car. We didn't really have a long run here tonight. I know you guys put in a bunch of practice leading into this race. Obviously, you had an hour session prior. Did you have a long-run car if it came down to that?
I definitely think Hunter has done a great job on these sets. They have been excellent every week, week in and week out. And I think this one was really great. I think in practice, the car was definitely looser because the weather was different. So I didn't get to practice. I knew he said it was going to be different, so I really didn't practice it too much. In practice, it was really you were going to get loose as the run went on like we did at Sobo a week ago. But tonight, with how the track conditions were, it was definitely going to tighten up. So you definitely wanted to take care of that right front, which I'm really good at doing. I think long run is something I'm really good at. When it comes to tracks that I feel like I'm better at, it's tracks that are flat and aggressive. And with you have to roll the corner. You got to be really easy on that right front. I feel like those are my bread and butter. And luckily, 1987 North Wilkesboro is that way. I won here last season in my debut. It would go on to win the championship. So I knew I needed to capitalize because Austin's got 3 wins now, and I had none. And I was like, I've got to get a win. So I feel much better.
Austin Pack having a rough night here tonight, but we look forward to Hickory next week. We had a small racetrack tonight, 5/8 of a mile. I'd say it's big by comparison to many of the speedways that we go to this season, but how do you prepare yourself for Hickory next week?
Yeah, I love Hickory. I love its characteristics. I love that turn 1 and 2 are so different from 3 and 4. Definitely bumpy, not as bumpy as it is in real life, but it is a fun place. I would feel good there. I think there are a lot of other drivers that are going to be fast. I think in our season finale last year that was at Hickory, Pack was obviously, Pack's fast everywhere, but he was definitely fast at Hickory. Landon Brown, he's going to be fast a lot of places we go. So there's going to be contenders. I think Tristan Valdez will be fast too. He just got stuck with everything with the heat race tonight. So there will be a lot of contenders, and I don't think it will be easy whatsoever.
Well, Scott, congratulations on the win here tonight. Taking advantage when others struggle. A dominant performance here tonight, man. Who do you want to thank?
Of course, I always got to thank the B-Main podcast. We record every Monday or Tuesday. Episodes are always out by Wednesdays every other week, and me and my good friend Gavin get to talk about some awesome stuff. So shout us out, give us a listen on YouTube and Spotify. I got to thank my parents as well. I just graduated college this last week, and I've got such a supporting family, and I'm so appreciative to them and all they've given me in life. Thank the great Lord above. I wouldn't be talented or have this skill without him, and I get to give him all the glory. So it's going to be fun next week, and I'm excited.
Scott Shive, congratulations, a gentleman and a scholar. Good luck next week.
Thanks, Steve.
Next, we'll talk to our runner-up, Landon Brown, the driver of the number 5 machine. Really gave Scott a run for his money there late. Let's see what he has to say about it. Landon and Steve in the Track Limits Network broadcast booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Landon, congratulations, man. 10th place to second. That's pretty good, but, man, you really had a fast car. Thought you had something for Scott Shive there late. That certainly wasn't for a lack of trying. What was the difference maker here tonight?
Well, funny enough, you remember last week I told you that I hate North Wilkesboro. Right after I said I hate South Boston. I think I hate North Wilkesboro worse, and I finished better than what I did at South Boston. So, I don't know. I mean, I would love to answer the question. I really just think the key for me, honestly, was just staying out of trouble. I mean, we were around the trouble, but we just got lucky and were able to avoid it and keep our nose clean. We got a few scrapes maybe, but the biggest thing was just staying out of the trouble early. Had some stuff middle of the race too, but just using our heads, thinking long term, not short term. The track was difficult for me anyways. Like I said, it's a tough place for me. Never really done great here until now, so overall just had to keep it clean. That was the key.
To win the race, you got to finish the race. Keeping it clean is all part of the battle. You come home P2, so not too shabby. Looking forward now, Hickory Motor Speedway next week. Smaller racetrack, closer conditions, tighter racing, probably some more tempers flaring. How do you get set for that place next week?
Yeah, well, given my track record of finishing great at tracks I hate, Hickory is probably my favorite track on the service. So I don't know what that entails for me, but I love that place, man. It's tight, it's good racing, it's got a lot of character to it. Turn 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 definitely different. The double apex sort of that you run into in 1 and 2 is awesome. I like the way that the track drives. It's going to be the same thing as tonight, really. With close quarters, it's going to be a brawl, so you're going to have to stay in the mix, but stay out of the wrecks and just try to keep a clean nose. I think a good qualifying effort is really going to be beneficial there too. It can get tough to pass. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's my favorite track, other than maybe Five Flags. Those two are my favorites, so I'm really interested to see what we can do.
We're looking forward to it, Landon. Congratulations on P2 here tonight. Who do you want to shout out to?
Yeah, I just got to thank Eastern Technical Design and Tracy Brown. He helps me a lot. He supports me and everything. Track Limit Network and you, Steve. You do an awesome job doing these races. Big shout out to Scott for winning another race. We didn't have another linear incident. We made a pact that was not going to happen again. So that didn't happen again. We put on a good show. Just got to thank Triple B Racing, CRN Sports, Haley Moody Racing, Justin Brooks Designs for the awesome paint scheme, and everybody here at the league that helps put it on, Hunter, Wayne, all those guys, and looking forward to next week.
All right, Landon, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Landon Brown, P2 here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Next, we'll try and talk to the driver, the number 9, Colton, the Juggernaut Alderman. Colton and Steve with Track Limits. You got us?
I got you.
Colton, congratulations, man. 8th to P3 at the end of this thing. You had a very eventful night, certainly. Some bench sheet metal at the end of it, but still a top 3 finish. What was the challenges that you faced here tonight, aside from trying to dodge some wrecks?
That was I think that was the biggest challenge. I think on lap 8, I got spun out and I dropped a 20th. From there, it was just a grind, but, I always had faith in the Captain Crunch car today, and she drove us back to the front, just avoiding wrecks after that, trying to get around people. It's pretty hard to pass. I wish the race would have ran green for longer, so some lines could have opened up, but due to all the cautions, we all kind of were stacked on the bottom, so it's just hard to make passes unless you kind of came up with something on the top and kind of rolled to the bottom. But other than that, I feel like we had a good race, kind of a good recovery there.
Staying in North Carolina next week, going to Hickory, a smaller racetrack. They're all small on the short track schedule, but what changes as far as your approach at a place like Hickory?
I think the biggest change is try to stay out of wrecks. I think try to keep the nose clean. I think that's what Scott did today the best. I think he was just up front, just clean air, keep the nose clean. You never look back, never get caught up in any incidents. I think that's the main important thing. Run some good practice, kind of understanding how the line changes over time. If the race went anything like today, then I feel like it's going to be, it's never going to get better. If we can't kind of move that line up or move the line around, then everyone's gonna be stuck on the bottom. People get impatient and start using the bumper, and I think that's what causes a lot of these cautions. But other than that, I'm looking forward to it. I like Hickory, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
All right, Colton. Well, job well done. Congrats on P3. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
I want to thank my grandma, or grandpa. I want to thank my dad, my mom, my brother, my teammate Hayden, my sister, and my girlfriend. They all make this possible.
All right, Colton. Thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck at Hickory.
Yep, thank you.
Colton Alderman, third place finisher here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. That'll do it for the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. Let's take a gander at our official race results. Of course, we talked to our top three, and of course, it won't show. This has been such a hit and miss issue. We'll try this. There we go. Scott Shive, your race winner. Landon Brown was P2. Colton Alderman, third. Gavin Grubbs comes home in the fourth spot. Dan Worthington was fifth. Austin Cansdale, P6. Austin Pack battled back to finish P7 after a disastrous heat race, and then getting caught up in, I think, 2 or 3 different incidents here tonight, still salvaging a 7th place. So a solid points night for the 81. Steve Luttrell at top 10 in 8th. Tristan Valdez will be fast going forward. You can bet on that. Finishes 9th. Drew King was 10th. David Warmuth finishes 11th. 12th place, Charles Oberg. 13th went to Hunter Carlson. Hayden Bloomer, 14th. Wes Wiegand comes home in the 15th spot. Elijah Grant was 16th. Ty Sykes was 17th. 18th place was Daniel Jones. Thomas Hall, 19th. And last but not least, the one of Robert Eversole finishes in the 20th position, 52 laps down. It was a very interesting race here tonight. A lot of bent sheet metal. I'm sure there's a lot of tempers flaring in the background right now. Hopefully they get all that worked out for Hickory next week, because it's a tighter racetrack, and you're just going to get to that hot temper a whole lot faster than we even did here tonight, which means it's going to be exciting to watch. So make sure you tune in here, Track Limits Network, next week. Next Monday, be here about 7:45 at the, if you're an early bird. We won't be quite live by then, but certainly don't be any later than 8 p.m. Eastern time. So join us here. Thank you guys all for tuning in. We'll see you at the next one. Have a good night.